What's up, TikTok? How y'all feeling out there? Facebook, YouTube, welcome to Friday night. It's your girl Tiff, and it is time for Let Tiff Teach You. So this week, one, we have a special guest, and two, you all know I live in Ohio. We've had a wild week here in Ohio when it comes to weather and unexpected disaster. And so tonight, what we are going to talk about is what we're always talking about, and that's preparedness. But we're going to talk about it in a very concrete way. So sit down, stay tuned, get your notebook, get something to write with, because we're just going to talk about what we're always talking about, and that's preparedness. Why? Because it came to our doorstep here in Northeast Ohio this week. So good evening. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Tiffany, and this is Let Tiff Teach You. Here at Let Tiff Teach You, what do we talk about? Jesus and preparedness. Pretty much that's about it. But in that conversation, we add in, how do we live the abundant life in Christ right now? What does it look like to live out your Christian faith Monday through Friday, not just on Sundays at church? So I hope that you are ready. Now, listen, I don't know how this is going to go, because exactly. Say hi to the people much. Hi, people. Because I have a very lively 7-month-old grandson who did not go down for his appropriate nap at 7:30. So I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how long I'm going to be with you. But we're going to, we're living. And we still have to do the things that God has given us to do, even when life is happening. So much will be here and not here, and we'll see. All right. But how you doing? TikTok, how you doing? It's been a minute, right? So how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How are you doing? I really do want to know. TikTok, do you know that? Do you know I really do want to know how you are? How's your week been? How are things going where you are? I am in Northeast Ohio, and baby, it's a lot happening. I'm grateful to God that I have power, because there's still over 200,000 people in Northeast Ohio who do not have power due to lots of things that happened this week that we're going to talk about. And here where I live specifically, yesterday, there was a very significant flash flood in my city. So that's why we back here talking about the thing that we're always talking about, which is preparedness. So I'm not going to hold you, because I don't know how long he going to hang out. But I want to get back into it. So one of the things that we have talked about here consistently is that preparedness is not about when the ish hits the fan. It's about the dollar crashing, or about the government falling apart. Preparedness is about what I call regular emergencies. The regular emergencies, making sure that you have what you need in your home, in your car, to ensure that in a quote unquote regular emergency, you can get home, take care of yourself, feed your family, etc. Right? So Tiffany, what is look, mommy said hi Munch. Mommy said hi Munch. Here he is. Hey Ty, hope you're having a good night at work. What is a regular emergency? It is the things that happen where you live on a regular basis. That be they natural disasters, weather situations, but those power outages. I live in Northeastern Ohio. So what's a regular emergency to me? A winter storm. Why? Because, we used to have real winter here. We don't really have winter no more, but a winter storm that will cause a power outage is a very normal thing here in Ohio. Severe weather is also a very normal thing here in Ohio. And the kind of severe weather that will bring down trees and bring down branches, that bring down power lines. Are y'all following me? Like, are you picking up what I'm putting down? I want to make sure that you understand. And if you haven't done it already, will you do me a favor and sow that seed of sharing? Because somebody needs to be in this conversation. Someone and you care about is not thinking about these things. They do not have a plan. They do not know what they would do in a regular emergency. So I am, I'm not asking you for no money, because sharing is free. Hit that like button, YouTube. Hey, YouTube. Hit that like button if you have not already, and you already are into this conversation. Go on and hit that subscribe. I appreciate it. The algorithm needs it. I need it. More people need to be in this conversation, because the reality is the frequency at which these types of things are happening is only going to increase. I used to tell people that Ohio was one of the best places in the United States to live because we don't have like drastic weather. We have the seasons, right? We do have 4 real seasons, but we don't have like drastic weather. We don't have like earthquakes and mudslides and fires and, you know, things that happen, hurricanes, stuff like that. We ain't had that stuff in Ohio. I can't say that anymore. And the reason I can't say that anymore, oh, that was nice, thanks. See what I'm saying? Is because we had 4, there were 4 so far, 4 confirmed EF1 tornadoes that came through Cuyahoga County, which is where Cleveland is, 3 days ago. 4 confirmed by the National Weather Service. Nope, you can't touch that. You can have this though. 4 EF1 tornadoes. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have bet money that tornadoes was going to be something we were concerned about in Ohio. But now the reality is we're a place that has tornadoes frequently, right? And so that's a different thing that you have to prepare for. But if we're not even thinking about it, if we're not even considering that these are the kinds of things that we need to make sure our families have what they need, then when it happens, like it happened this week, like 4 tornadoes, 300,000 people without power. Oh, and did I mention that their power is not going to be back on until next week? They're going over like 8 days is the estimate by by the electric company that services the greater Cleveland area. 8 days till their power is back on. If you didn't have power for 8 days, what would you do? How would you maintain? This is the conversation we're having tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope that this is helping. I hope that this helps you, because I'm not here to scare you. This is not fear mongering. This is education. Okay, let's be clear. This is about education, because lots of people don't know what to do to prepare for these kinds of things. So we had 4 tornadoes 3 days ago, and then yesterday there's a flash flood, and I mean a real flash flood, like when the weather service sends your you get that alert on your phone that there's weather. Like that's how serious it was. Several areas in my city were closed. Just the roads were closed. My daughter told me one of her girlfriends could not go home last night because where she lives in a valley. It was flooded, completely flooded. She couldn't go home. They had to spend the night at a girlfriend's house. Like, these are the things that we're talking about. We have to prepare for. So how are we preparing? Well, I guess there's the first question is, what are you preparing for? What is a quote unquote regular emergency where you live? What are the things that you need to be mindful for? Because I bet you those people in Cleveland, I don't live in Cleveland. Okay. So the tornadoes did not come where I live. But the people who were affected in the areas where there were tornadoes and now have no power, guess what else don't have power? Their local grocery stores, their local corner stores. We have corner stores in Ohio. Convenience stores, gas stations, they ain't got no power. Just like the residential areas don't have power. Do you want to get down? Is that what you want? Okay. We're gonna see. I don't know if that's gonna work. And then I have to take this away because he'll try to drink my Hawaiian punch, which he can't have. But the gas stations are closed because they don't have power. The grocery stores do not have power. The pharmacies do not have power because no, you don't want that? Come on. Well, come on. None of those things have power. So all of those places that people like, oh, I'm just gonna run to the store. Yeah, ain't no running to the store, baby. Unless you coming down here by me, and that's 30 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are you preparing for? What kind of things are normal or at least seasonal where you live that you need to be prepared for? And then how are you preparing for them? First and foremost, what's the first thing you need? The first thing you need is water. You need water. You can live without food for 40 days. You cannot live, you can only live without water for 3. So you need to have water in your home. How much water, Tiffany? I will, hey Jamil, I will put a list out after the live, and I'll make it pretty. So you need water. How much water? You need at least, at minimum, 1 gallon of water per person per day. So however many days that you plan to stock, you I want to make sure my family is good for a week. Okay, cool. That's great. It's a great place to start. You need 1 gallon of water per person per day. And I want you to think about the fact that this is not just drinking water. This is washing water, cooking water, toileting water. Okay? Because you got to make the toilet flush. You don't need electricity for that, but you do need water. All right? So you need water. The next thing that you need is food. You need food that does not need electricity. You need food that that's ready to eat, with food, 2 is food, and then there's a underneath the 2. What some of you need is extra charcoal, because you got a grill and you got some cast iron skillets that you can put on that grill, or a cast iron pot that you can put on a grill to boil water or to cook food, but you don't have enough charcoal to last you that long. So or propane if you have a gas grill. So you may want to consider stocking up on those kind of things. Hi, how are you? If you've got a grill, baby, you good. All you need is all your cast iron can go on the grill. Nothing else. I'm not recommending you put anything else out there, but that cast iron will be okay on that charcoal or that gas grill. You want to say hi to the people? Say hi to the people. Say hi. We're working on waving, y'all. Hi. You just gonna smile at the camera? Okay, that's okay too. So you need food. You need the kind of food that you can crack a can. Oh, you need a can opener if you're gonna do canned foods. You need a can opener and a manual one, and then a backup manual one in case that one break. But you need foods that you are ready to eat. So think things that are shelf stable, canned foods, granola bars, fruit cups, jerky, tuna pouches, things like these, that no matter what happens, you all will have enough food to eat in the case of an emergency. All right. I'm checking the comments. All right. So we got water, we got food. Hi, baby. He's probably going to chew on my hair, y'all. And some way to heat or warm up, cook that food. Yep, there it goes. Can you not chew on my hair on TV? Thank you. I know. I put it out there and then you can see it. So then what is the next thing that you need? This is not actually number 3 on the list, but because it's at my mind right now, I'm going to mention it. Do you have enough of your medication? If you're taking medication in their dailies, do you have enough of your medication in case the pharmacy is not available? Something to think about. If you take medication that has to be refrigerated, what are you going to do about that in an emergency situation where you don't have power? How are you going to keep that cold? What is the life of that medication once it's no longer cold? Because you don't have power to keep it cold and the pharmacy is closed, so you can't get more. So what is the shelf life of that medication if you don't have power? So making a plan for your meds is really important. Okay. So we got water, we got food, we've talked about meds. Now we need power or light or some kind of power source. So candles, flashlights with batteries, extra batteries. Do you have a power bank? I should have brought mine in here, but a small power bank that may keep your cell phone charged for a little while longer in the case of an emergency, right? And not those pretty candles, not the ones from Bath and Body Works. They smell good, but they don't give good light. Okay. Yes, Bree, exactly. Let there be light. Boy, yes. Hi. Yes, let there be light. Exactly. So you want to get the kind of candles or Solar lights. I saw a really good deal. Just putting it out there. If you got a Costco membership, I saw this month there is a Duracell solar lantern. You can also use batteries with it, but it's on sale this month. $5 off. I'm going to get 2 for my house. So I don't want to do something and not share it with you guys. So if you got a Costco membership or you know someone with the Costco membership, that might be a good purchase for you. If you are like, yo, this storm came and I was not ready. That might be something you want to look into. But what is your light situation? It's fine, Lord. What are you doing about lighting? Really? And then drooling on my hair, sir? That's no good. That's no good at all. All right. Sorry. Back to our regular schedule. So what are you going to do about light? Flashlights, batteries, lanterns, whatever the case may be. Making sure that you have a stock of it. Make sure you got one for everybody or every room that you want to attempt to light. All right. So we need light. We talked about fire for that grill, charcoal, or propane, gas grill. I don't have one, so that's why it's like I'm a charcoal girl, y'all. But we've got a way to warm our food. We have light. What else do you need? Security. Now I can't go into a lot of details about that. But whatever you're using to keep you and your family safe, you want to make sure that you have that and all of the accessories for your method. That's probably as much as I can say here and not get pew pew. You know, if you got your little pew pew, you know what I'm saying, right? You got your pew pews and your accessories for that, whatever that looks like for you. So you want to make sure that you have security. Well, you can't go over there. You just got to say hi to the people and be cute, and that's it. All right. What are other things that you're going to need? You're in a no power situation. It would be a really wise idea for you to have cash. I'm always going to say that as long as the dollar spend, you need cash. Well, how much cash? That's a personal situation. You know what your life costs, because I could tell you my number, but my nuff might not be your nuff, as my former pastor used to say. So you know what you and your family are moving through in cash or purchases during the week. Thank you, Bree. And you want to make sure that cash is in small bills. Why? Because if everybody got 20s, when you get to the dollar store or you get to the gas station, they're going to run out of change. And you either going to end up spending that whole 20 or not getting what you went in there for. But if you just needed a gallon of milk and it was $3 and you got a 5 or you got 3 singles, no problems. So you want to make sure that you have cash on hand. You want to make sure that cash is in small bills. All right. So that you can do business as you need to. Hello. Hi, much. Wait a much. So now, why are we discussing these things? Because no matter, there's a lot happening in our country. Absolutely. Things are hot. And, I believe that things are going to get spicier over the next 90-ish days between now and the election. But we're not even worried about that kind of stuff because being prepared is wisdom. And it is biblical wisdom to be prepared. There's so many. Have you read Proverbs? # read your Bible. Have you read Proverbs? Because the Lord has given us so much wisdom. Ow. Oh, you can have that one. You can have this one. You can't have that one. That's short. Sorry. On how to prepare and the need to prepare. And I want to say this because I see this a lot and it drives me. I have to pray. Prepare, using the wisdom to prepare and ensure that you have what you need for your family is not a lack of faith. It's actually your faith in action. It is you believing that God has given you the wisdom to do these things. It is you taking the things that he is showing you through what's happening in the world, through what's happening in the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, side note, are the leaves changing where you are? I don't know. Y'all didn't tell me where y'all was watching from. So are the leaves changing where you are? Because I live in Ohio and the leaves actually started changing a few weeks ago. I have a tree in my backyard that had yellowing leaves in July. Anybody noticed? Have you noticed? Let me know. Have you noticed that the leaves are changing colors early where you are? Because normally here in Ohio, that wouldn't be happening until the beginning of September. But it happened in July. Ladies and gentlemen, please open your eyes. Please pay attention. The earth is talking. The earth is giving us warnings. It is giving us information. The trees changing in July. Do you know what that means? That means the season, the time of the seasons has shifted. But if you're not paying attention, you won't be ready. When the snow comes early, when the cold comes early, you're going to be unaware. You are going to be taken by surprise. But the trees told you the story. You weren't paying attention. Ladies and gentlemen, you have got to start paying attention because the earth is talking. And she is telling us that things are changing. All right? I just want you to be ready. Okay, back to where I was at. Where was I at, y'all? I'm sorry, that thing hit me, and it is wisdom to prepare. And it is not a lack of faith or a lack of belief that God is not going to ensure that you are well. But if the Lord has given you the forewarning, he has given you the foreknowledge that a thing is coming, that a thing is happening. He's given that to you so that you move your feet. He's given that to you. He told Joseph, you will have 7 years of plenty, and then you will have 7 years of famine. What if Joseph hadn't done nothing for 7 years? Nothing. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's coming. We good. We just going to eat up everything we got right now, though. And we ain't going to worry about them 7 years of famine because God going to provide. No, God provided by telling you that you were having 7 years of plenty. That's how God provided. So that you could use your brain and your ingenuity and your wisdom to prepare for the famine that he also told you is on the way. Please stop saying, well, the Lord gonna provide. His warning, the pre-information is him providing. Hey, Jazz. Exactly. Hey, Sonny. TikTok, where y'all at? I see you. Him telling you in advance, him giving you these unctions, is him saying, hey, it's time for you to get it together. It's time for you to make some adjustments. It's time for you to make some changes because something is coming. He doesn't always have to reveal to you what the something is. But in him telling you to do X, you ought to know. You have to go to Holy Spirit. My God. Okay, Lord, that's where we're going. You have to go to the Father in prayer and say, okay, why are you telling me this? What you want me to do with this information? How am I supposed to move about this? Sometimes he's going to tell you to do something. And here's the thing, y'all. I can't tell you what he told me to do because what he told me to do is for me. What he told me to do is for my household and for my family. That's my plan. He got a plan for you, though. But if you don't go to him and ask, if you don't seek him out in prayer and say, Lord, what do I do? Then you'll never get the strategy. Hey, Mick, you will never get the strategy for your family. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Did y'all hear that? Amen. Exactly. From the mouths of babes. So how much do you need to prepare? Right? Well, according to FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA says that you need to have you need to start with 3 days, move from 3 days to 7 days, from 7 days to 30 days, and from 30 days to 3 months, right? That is the what's the word I'm looking for, Lord? The track that you should follow in building a preparedness pantry. Now, I would highly recommend that you head over to FEMA's website and check out the resources that they have, because they do have some really great lists. Just being honest, they have some really great lists, and they include other things like clothing and if you have pets, that's something you got to think about. I don't have pets, so it's not something I think about. But if you got a dog or a cat or whatever, you have to make sure that you have the things that they need as well. Right. So head over to FEMA, and that is FEMA.gov. Absolutely. There's some really great resources if you are in need of those kinds of things. I am always going to tell you, you are shooting for 30 days. And here's the thing, people, don't buy stuff that you don't eat. Don't buy stuff that you won't use. Don't buy a bunch of beans if you don't eat beans. Well, that's silly. You're wasting your money. You need to make sure that what you are stocking, what you are building a pantry that you're going to eat out of. And you're just going to continue to rotate it so that the food remains fresh. But you're going to make sure that you have enough on hand so that when these regular emergencies happen, you have what you need. Just like these tornadoes came through Northeast Ohio, just like this flash flood happened yesterday, and people couldn't get in their houses and people couldn't get out their houses. The other thing I want to talk about is having an emergency plan with your family and having what I call a get home bag. So first let's talk about the emergency plan. What is an emergency plan? That is you and the people who live in your house or your immediate, your close relatives or relatives that are geographically close to you, sitting down and coming up with a plan that in the case that the lights go out, the phones go out, like they have here, that everybody, y'all have a plan of how we gonna know if everybody is okay. Where are we gonna meet up, right? How long do we stay in the meetup spot until we go to the next meetup spot? And then how long do we wait there until we go to the next meetup spot? Who's calling grandma? Who's going by Auntie Sharon's house? Who's going to see about Uncle Jimmy? You see what I'm saying? Like, what is the plan with you and your family in the case of an emergency? Write it down. Y'all sit down together. You create it. You write it down. You go over it. The children know it. If you have children, you need a password. You need a word that y'all know, that strangers would not, that if you send somebody to get them or see about them, they know that person has to have that word to know that they're safe to go. So in your emergency plan, you need to have your password. Yes, Bree, call the oxygen company. You see what I'm saying? Like, you need to have your password so that your children know. My brother and his adult children have a password. So this is not once they get big. No. You still need to use that to know who's safe. But creating an emergency plan, reviewing it every 6 months to make sure those things are that it still works. And here's why you need to review it every 6 months, because this actually happened to me. I had my emergency plan. I just, with my daughter, and one of our meetup places got torn down. Well, we need a new place because it's not there no more. Right. So and these things happen. This is normal. It happens. But we need to be reviewing that. OK. In your emergency plan, you're going to build your get home bag, and your get home bag is a backpack that lives in your car or your truck or whatever the case may be. Right. Your backpack, and that backpack includes all of the things that you would need in case of a regular emergency or car breakdown, whatever the case may be, so you can get home. How much? Okay, so that you can get home. And so what do you need to put in your get home bag? Some of those same things. You need food, you need water, you need security. You also need a first aid kit, a small first aid kit, right? You might need a small Swiss Army knife. You need a set of clothes that include a pair of good socks. You need a pair of walking shoes that can just live in the bag. Some other things that you may want to consider including, ow, that hurts, are Sorry, y'all, that was my alarm. Some other things that you may want to consider including a thermal blanket. You know how when you see when FEMA go out, there's an emergency, they put those people under the those what they look like aluminum foil blankets. One of those. You may want to consider having one of those. You may want to consider having a rain poncho. They fold up really small. They don't take up a lot of space. In the case of an emergency, if you get stranded in your car, I remember, was this 2 years ago? I think this was 2 years ago that there was a really bad ice storm on a highway in the DMV area, and people were literally stuck in their cars on the highway for 24 hours, stuck in their car. Nobody could move for, I think it was an ice storm. It might've been an accident. I don't remember, but I remember that the people were stuck on the highway for 24 hours, running out of gas, no food, no water. This bag in that situation, you chilling. You want to pack the same kind of foods: jerky, granola bars, protein bars, breakfast bars, fruit cups. You know, little baby food pouches, those work for you too. That food is good for you too. Those are the kinds of things that you want to put in your bag. If you had to abandon your car and put the bag on your back and walk, what would you need to have? Electrolyte packets, like the liquid IVs or Gatorade packets that you can put in a bottle of water. Those kinds of things would be very helpful to have in that bag, right? So I know we talk a lot about Jesus, but I felt really pressed today we're just gonna lay down at you there, to come back to this because of the week that we've had here in Ohio. Just because of the week that we've had, and because I know so many people who are affected by this power outage and are going to continue to be affected by the power outage because power won't be back on until the 14th. Yeah, exactly, Melinda. It was an ice storm. Thank you. And so you need to do this for your own safety, but you also need to do this because it is wisdom. It is wisdom to be prepared. And if nothing ever happens, guess what? It's saving your budget. It's saving, because when the price of fill in the blank food goes through the roof, you got 2 on the shelf, so you cool. You can wait for it to go back on sale. So you're saving your budget. And the message that the Lord gave me when he put this on my heart to start talking to people about it is simply this: the warning is the provision. It is wisdom for us to prepare when times are good or when times get bad. And we are guaranteed trouble in the Bible. The Bible tells us in this life, Jesus, I'm pretty sure Jesus said it. In this life, you will have trouble. Not might, will. So while I'm not in trouble, let me build up what I can so that when trouble comes, I'm okay. When I am in good health, let me prepare for what could happen if my health were to take a turn. If there was a job loss. See, it's not just about, I know that y'all, and I know I've had people be like, Tiffany, I thought you was on that tinfoil hat stuff. I'm not talking about when the shiz hits the fan. I'm talking about life just lifing. Job loss, illness, grief, mental health crisis. But if you got 30 days worth of food in your house, that's one less thing you got to worry about when that happens. You don't have to worry about how your baby's gonna eat. You just don't have to worry about it. Where the next check coming from? You don't have to, at least with the check, you're not gonna starve. It ain't just the people is coming. It's not, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. It is wisdom. And the research, because y'all know this is my thing, so I read a lot about it. From FEMA and the National Institute of Health, the average American household does not have 3 days worth of food. The average American doesn't have 3 days worth of food in their house. They don't have 3 days worth of food. How is that possible? That you don't have 3 days worth of food in your house? Because we door dashing and eating out and happy houring. That's how. That's how. And I'm sure that some of these folks who have lost power in Cuyahoga County, they in that. And they stuck like Chuck, because the grocery store is not open, because the grocery store doesn't have power. I want my community and those who are connected to me and those who are connected to them to know, no one's expecting you to spend $500, $1,000 on them survival food kits and 10, the number 10 cans of all these freeze dry foods. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to take $5 or $10 every time you go to the store and pick up a little extra and pick up a little extra and pick up a little extra. And you'd be surprised how quickly you now have 30 days worth of food, 60 days worth of food. Hey, Kim, in your home, so that in the case of an emergency, like we're experiencing here. Another story, one of my students, her basement flooded. She lives out here by me. We got the flash flood. Where she lives, the basement is completely flooded. All her clothes was in the basement. She had the clothes she had on her back and one other set of clothes. And that's all she got until because they can't get in the basement yet. But if I've got an everyday carry bag, at least I've got, you see what I'm saying? I've got an extra something in the case of an emergency. I want to impart this wisdom because one, the Lord has given it to me. The Lord has given it to me. And so I'm responsible to give it to you, but also because I need us to think and I need us to pay attention. The world is changing. The United States is changing and fast. And faster than most people realize, because most people are so super focused on their little life and their little corner that they don't see. And because this is the gift that God has given me. Welcome to practical, what did I call it, Bree? The practical prophetic. Welcome to the practical prophetic. The Lord uses my gift in a very practical way. And that is to help you with your everyday life, because God wants to be in your everyday. And God has something to say about your everyday. Thank you. And this is the way that my prophetic gifting works. It's in the everyday. It is in the tying together of the puzzle pieces. It is in the tying together of the puzzle pieces. Oh gosh. I don't know what you're up there doing, sir. For you, to help you see God everywhere you go, and to know that He is concerned about you. God is concerned about you. Just in case you didn't know, just in case ain't nobody told you today, God is concerned about you, and so He sends people like me to give you what seems like regular information, but it really is His prophetic gifting in the earth. I said this the other day in a post. My prophetic, I've never prophesied somebody houses or cars, and we need people who are going to prophesy houses and cars. It just ain't me. My gift is going to help you see how all of these things that are happening in the earth and happening in the economy are going to land on your doorstep, and how God has given me information and wisdom to help you prepare before, to help you get ready, so that you are safe, your family is safe, and your faith is strong, so that as the shaking continues, thank you, Holy Spirit, as the shaking continues, and as the shaking gets more and more violent, you are rooted and grounded. You are anchored in the Lord God of heaven. You are anchored in Yahweh. And you ain't got nothing to worry about. This is the practical prophetic. And so that's what I have for y'all tonight. I've been trying to watch the comments. I don't see any questions. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. You cannot touch the computer, little boy. Holly, this is not my house. I wish. In the name of the Lord, this is definitely not my house. This is a background because my house, I can't be putting my house on the bed. But okay, if you have questions, thank you, Auntie Carolyn. Thank you. I appreciate. I love you. I appreciate you. You are always encouraging me, and I'm so grateful for all of y'all who. Okay, go back over the bag, the get home bag. I don't want to call it a bug out bag because people get panicked when you say stuff like that, and they be like, "Oh my God, no! It's just a get home bag. It's a get home bag. That's what it is. It's a get home bag." But okay, so I forgot to talk about the bag itself, didn't I? Thank you, Kim. So go to the thrift store. Go to the thrift store. Start at the thrift store. Now you may not be successful, but start at the thrift store because I got a really good, like, what looked like a Boy Scout backpack at the thrift store. And you can find really nice, like, tactical backpacks and whatnot that have like all the extra pockets and all the straps. So try the thrift store first before you go in the store and spend, brand new money. Definitely check out your thrift store. But okay, so what do you need in the bag? You need the same things in the bag that you need in your house. You need water, you need food, right? But you need like smaller food. So you're gonna think like jerky or like tuna pouches or like Vienna sausages. You want like granola bars, breakfast bars, protein bars, fruit cups, or fruit pouches. Think like those applesauce pouches or things of that nature. Quick, easy nuts, seeds are always going to be good ones. Those peanut butter, you can get the little peanut butter packets or peanut butter cups. Those would be great. Crackers, things of that nature. Eat, because you're not trying. Remember, the bag is designed to get you from wherever you are home, right? So I'm not trying to have. I'm not out here having a gourmet meal. I want to make sure I have enough energy to walk and not starve. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. So we got water. We got some small non-perishables. I'm going to tell you, get you some electrolyte packets, right? Like the liquid IV packets or the Gatorade packets, like Crystal Light style packets to have, because you're going to need that, right? Because you're as you're walking, you're going to lose salt and sugar, and put those back because you need them. All right. So I'm about to put you on the floor, except I'm probably gonna cry. So you need those. You need security, whatever that means for you. If it's a knife or a pew pew, whatever that means for you, you need some kind of security that you can keep in that bag, so that you have it. You absolutely. I was right on my way down there. So you need a change of clothes. You need a set of clothes and a pair of walking shoes. In my bag, I have a short sleeve t-shirt, a long sleeve pullover hoodie, a pair of jeans, a pair of boot socks, and a pair of comfortable tennis shoes that have a really thick sole. That's what I have in my bag. So, because you don't know it depends on what the temperature is. If I get cold, I can put on the hoodie. If I get hot, I can pull it off and I'm comfortable. But you need to have a pair of really good socks, not these little no-show ankle socks. No, you need to have like heavy duty, crew socks, maybe 1 or 2 pairs. If your feet get wet, that's the last thing you want is for your feet to get wet. So maybe you need to have 2 pairs of socks. Okay. So you need to have a set of clothes. You need a rain poncho because those fold up in that little bag. It takes up very little space. You also may want to have a thermal blanket. You know how in a disaster you'll see people and they look like they throw aluminum foil over them. That's to retain heat. So you may want to grab one of those and keep that in there. What else to start? That's a great place for you to start. And then the bag itself, right? Those are things. So now everybody's situation is going to be different. So what you need, of course, this is just an outline. This is to get you started. You may need hygiene. You might, nothing wrong with keeping a little travel toothbrush, travel toothpaste, mouthwash. But again, the point of the bag is to get home. So this is not I'm about to be outside for a month. That's not what this bag is designed to do. This bag is designed to get you, if you had to walk from work and it's a 20-minute drive, That's a 2-hour walk. This bag is designed to get you from there home. Okay. Now, you may want to pack. Now, some of y'all might get, excited and want to do I got to leave the house because the house ain't safe no more bag. That's another conversation. That's a whole different setup. Thank you, Jasmine. Power banks. If you have a power bank for your cell phone, you may want to grab a second one and put it in there, or keep it in your car so that you're aware of whether or not it's staying charged. And when you have to abandon the car, throw it in the bag. Okay. Flashlight. You need a flashlight or a headlamp. So a headlamp, can I have my thumb? It's on a band. You'll see like campers and hikers wear them, and it's just a light that sits on your forehead so your hands are free. You want one of those, either a flashlight or a headlamp. I have headlamps because that makes more sense to me to be able to keep my hands free. But you do want some kind of light. And then something reflective so that if you're walking and it's getting dark, people see you. So, that was random. So that's what you need in your bag. Bare minimum, that's what you need in your bag. And that bag lives in your car. And I would say, every 6 months, go in there and eat the food and swap it out. The food will last much longer than that, but again, you just want to get in there every now and again and swap the food out. It's going to be fine though. Those kinds of foods are designed to last for years. Americans don't have the palate for that just yet, but those foods are designed to last years. That's the point. But all right. I hope, Kim, did I go over that well? Does anybody else any questions? I'm here, my brain is here. I am going to put together a list. Bree asked me to put together a list a little earlier, so I will put together a nice one little cute little list and post that. If not tonight, because y'all see what I'm doing, then I will do it in the morning. But I will get you all a list, both for the home pantry and the get home bag, and put them out on and those will be on my Facebook page, and I will also post those on the community page on YouTube. Those will be on the community page. TikTok, I'll get that for you guys as well, once I get them created. Yes. All right. Well, if that's it, y'all, that was really what was on my heart tonight, to come and share and make sure that we review. It's been a while since we talked about it. And so, child, because he can move now and he knows it. So we out here. He is crawling. He's 7 months, y'all. 7 months old, crawling and eating solid food. He's got 2 teeth. So that's the update. There's much. I pray that this was helpful and informative and educational to you. The book is still available. The Practical Steps to Prepare for Famine is still available at lettiffteachyou.gumroad.com. If you have not gotten your copy, it is an ebook, so it's an immediate download as soon as you purchase it. It is $12.99. Also, the Lessons from the Garden devotional is still available. It is also $12.99. Available at the same link. No, it is not on Amazon. It is on my website, and that is intentional. I will put the link in all the comments, the links in all the comments. But if you are in need of next steps, if you know that God has been pushing you to do a little bit more, to kick it up a notch, then Practical Steps is the guide you need to help you know what steps you can take right now for what we know is coming. And it's still coming, ladies and gentlemen. I know that I've been barking up this tree. I know that I've been saying there's a famine coming for 2 years. I know I have. It's still coming. And every day, well, maybe not every day, but every week, I see more and more signs more and more reports that is coming. So don't get that's, I don't want to use that word, Holy Spirit. Don't get discouraged. Don't get lazy. Okay, because nothing else is coming up right now. Don't get lazy. Joseph had to prepare for 7 years. We only in year 2.5. Don't get lazy. I have a generator, Kim. I would just say, I think it's a great investment. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you know how much power you need. You know, what are you trying to power and how much power do you need to power those things? So you buy the right size generator. I would also recommend buying a hybrid generator that whatever, if it's gas, it can also be solar, or if it's propane, it can also be solar. Because yeah, the sun is free. That's what he said, free. He said lazy. So we are only in year 2. What if Joseph had stopped working in year 2? Come on, y'all. And I understand finances and all the things. If you got to scale back, then just scale back, but don't stop. Watch for the sales, you know, watch for sales, stock up when it's a sale, and when it's not a sale, don't. Recently, a grocery store near me was having a case sale on canned vegetables. I was like, man, why they got none of the vegetables I need? None of the vegetables I needed was on sale, but like, it was a great sale, you know? So when you see the things that you know is like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna need spaghetti sauce. That's one of my things. I need spaghetti sauce. So when the sauce that I like goes on sale, I buy 6 of them. Guess what I don't buy from, and those 6 jars, because I buy the larger jars, those jars will last me a year, quite honestly. I'm a single person, right? So buy it when it's on sale. If you have to scale back, but don't stop, because we're not there. Wherever there is, we ain't there yet, and it's still coming. But the book is available. Thank you, Bree, for dropping the link. Well, you are not about to piss. You don't know how to read yet, sir. That's not yours. The book is available. Nice. You will eat it. Exactly, Kim. You will eat it when you get hungry. You will. And maybe that's your, you know, this may be a strategy that someone needs to use. You know, if you have big things on your list that you want to do one big purchase a month, and that's it. You know, if it's a 25-pound bag of sugar, or a 25-pound bag of flour, or a 20-pound bag of rice, that could be a big purchase, and maybe you need to, like, you know, put it together. That's okay. Just don't stop, y'all. Just don't stop. Because not only do we have to prepare for our own families, we are the body of Christ. When it hits, the world is going to look to the church, and we got to be ready. And this is the way that we become ready. If each of us is doing a little bit, then when it comes, everybody has everything that they need. I need y'all to catch it. I need y'all to understand. The world is going to look to the church, and the church has to be ready. And this is how we get ready. Right now, we're preparing. Okay, so here's the question. How do you preserve flour and sugar for a long time? So you can buy food grade buckets. They look like those white pickle buckets. They have them at Walmart. That's where I bought mine. And they have a lid. And then inside that bucket, you would need to put a Mylar bag. So a Mylar bag is like it's you can seal it, and what's inside will be good for basically 20 years. I can share some links. Mylars, you can buy them on Amazon, all different sizes. You know, so you could put a bag of rice or a bag of beans, like they're that small, or you could do it with flour or sugar if you needed to. I go through that, and the reality is you don't actually need to preserve it for a long time, because you're going to go through it. Because remember, we're only buying things that we eat. Not in Mylar, you won't get bugs. Nope, because it's airtight. So you put your food in it, You put in, they come with oxygen absorbers. So you put the appropriate number of oxygen absorbers in it, and the instructions tell you. And then you seal the bag, and the bag is airtight. And as long as you don't open it, nothing's getting in it. Nope. You will not get bugs. But if you're going to put that in your rotation, right? Like I have one of those buckets, and it's what I keep my sugar in. It's like what I keep my flour in. So when I need flour, I just go down there and go. And that 25-pound bag of flour, 25 pounds of flour will probably last me 6 months. And it's fine because the lid is also tight. The lid is it's also a locking lid. So, and I keep it in a cool, dry place, and I have not had any issues. I have not had any issues, and then I just go buy another one when I'm out of it. Now I cook from scratch a lot. Like I cook all the time, so I'm going through that. If you're not a person who cooks all the time, that much may be too much for you. So that's something you also want to consider. Like how much of this do I use? If you don't eat a lot of sugar, you don't need a lot of sugar. 10 pounds of sugar might be perfect for you. But again, you want to consider what does your family go through when you're looking at how much you're buying. And that's with everything, your dry goods, your shelf staples, all of your things. Yeah. Yes, put the bag in the bucket. So it's a liner, almost like it's a liner. So you've got 2 layers to keep the bugs out, the bucket and the bag. So even if they got in the bucket, they couldn't get in the bag. Water bags. So this is a hefty investment, and everybody is not going to go through this. But what is a water bag? So it is, imagine a balloon for your bathtub. And so you put it in your tub, and when there's an emergency, you turn the water on and you fill it up. And so basically you would have a bathtub full of water that you could use for. Now, you could probably drink that water for the first 3 days. I don't know that I would recommend drinking it after that, but you can use it for cooking because you can boil it. You can use it for toileting or anything like that. Now, what you can do though is while the water is still safe, you could fill up your bathtub and then fill up your containers and close it. Like if you had pop bottles at the house or milk cartons or something like that, right? You take that bathtub water because it's clean and it's safe and you know it is, fill up your containers and put a lid on your container, and then it's perfectly fine. It's just because there's no lid on that bathtub. After a while, things gonna get in it. That's my point. But that is the point of it, is to conserve water when you're not sure if the water is going to be safe. That's what water bags are about. Yeah. Listen, and you don't have to go out and buy things to keep water in. You just bought some juice at the refrigerator, at the grocery store. You bought a 2 liter of soda. Rinse those things out and put water in them. That's it. And now you have water. And now you're building a water storage. You can buy case water, you can buy gallon water, but the containers that you're buying at the grocery store that have lids can hold water. And it's an easy way to ensure that you have backup water in the house without spending any additional money. Because why? I had to use a few when the power went out to flush the toilet. Your toilet doesn't have electricity, but it does need water to flush. Because when the Lord put it on you, Jazz, you got to work. You got to work when it's time to work. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to work. It is time to work. So I don't want to hold y'all. No, it's not. Dad will be here soon to pick up my broke best friend. So again, the books are out. They're on the website. Bree dropped the link. Oh, the other thing I wanted to remind you, we are still fasting on Wednesdays, ladies and gentlemen. I know that I have not been posting as much about it, and I have not been sending out the newsletter because life has been lifing over here. But we are still fasting on Wednesdays. The Let Tiff Teach You community is still fasting every Wednesday from 6 to 6. It is liquids only. Our guiding scripture is Matthew 6:33a. Seek ye first the kingdom. So, Tiffany, what are we fasting for? Whatever the Lord tells you to fast and pray about. We are just doing it corporately. Whatever the Lord tells you to fast and pray about, that is what you ought to be fasting and praying about. So seek first the kingdom and then the things. So we are seeking the kingdom, and whatever he tells you, that is what you are fasting for. That is who you are fasting for. Yes, Matthew 6:33a. Seek ye first the kingdom. Every Wednesday. Oh, you turn the TV on. Every Wednesday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Liquid onlys. I'm going to do my best to do a better job to make sure I'm posting about it on Tuesday so that you don't forget. But if you are participating in the Let Tiff Teach You community fast, do me a favor, head over to the website and sign up. It's free, but I just want to know who's participating. And then that way, if you have any prayer requests, you can put them on the prayer wall, the fasting prayer wall. And so the other people who are participating with you or participating with us can be praying with and for you. All right. I talked about the books. I talked about the fast. I think that's everything. There will be another weekly broadcast coming. The Lord has given me that. I don't have a lot of details about it just yet, but be on the lookout for the nope, no word on Kingdom View yet, Bree. Keep your eyes open, watch the pages, make sure you're following me in all the places. Let Tiff Teach You on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, and under my actual name here on Facebook for the details on the second, and you're turning the volume up too? The second weekly broadcast. So I love y'all. Yes, ma'am, I got you. I will definitely be sure to tag it on your page. Absolutely. I love you. I pray that this has helped you. My name is Tiffany. This is Let Tiff Teach You, and I will see y'all next week. Good night.